Firstly, thank you so much, Caitlin, not only for having me on, but for continually having Epstein survivors on so that our voices are heard. There is not a single bit of closure today. I actually brought a little show and tell for you, Caitlin. You know how I heard you speaking with the attorney before this about the 302s, and this is what the only 302 that could be found so far in the files by someone that was combing the files for hours. It was 7 pages and 4 of them looked like this. So we know that the victim's name is here, right? And that's appropriately redacted. So what is all of this? So there's no way for me to say to you that there's closure here. This is the exact opposite of transparency. Pages where they're blacked out and the only thing not blacked out was a survivor's name. It is such incompetence. It is sloppy. I mean, if any one of us did our jobs the way the DOJ did this job, we wouldn't be working humans. We would lose our job. We would lose our place in a company because this particular job has been so egregiously done, horrifically done.
All right, folks, let's get into this because what we're seeing right now should make every American furious, no matter what letter you've got next to your name, but especially if you care about truth, accountability, and a justice system that actually works. I just watched this video titled, "It is such incompetence, it is sloppy. Epstein survivor reacts to latest Epstein files release." And let me tell you, the reaction from the survivor says out loud what millions of Americans have been thinking for years. This isn't just incompetence. This isn't just, oops, paperwork issues. This is a pattern of protection, a pattern of delay, a pattern of powerful people circling the wagons while regular Americans are told to sit down, shut up, and trust the process. And as a patriotic American who believes in equal justice under the law, I'm sick of it. Here you have a survivor, someone who lived through hell reacting to yet another so-called release of Epstein files. And what do we get? Sloppy redactions, missing names, half answers, bureaucratic excuses. The same garbage we've been fed for years. Let's be real for a second. If you or I were involved in even 1% of what Epstein was involved in, our names would be everywhere. Mugshots on every screen. Assets frozen. Lives destroyed overnight. But when it comes to billionaire financiers, political insiders, global elites, and their friends, suddenly the system moves at a glacial pace. Suddenly mistakes are acceptable. Suddenly transparency becomes optional. That's not justice. That's a two-tier system.
Should be concerned about that. They are defying a clear law signed by the president, and it is now 41 days, and then they haven't even complied with the reasons for redaction. So there's not even anything that comes with this big black box that says why this was redacted. That deadline passed weeks ago. Caitlin, I wish I could tell you that I was shocked, but I wasn't. I don't think any of us were shocked. It is just this incredible, deep, visceral level of frustration and disappointment and sadness and grief, but none of us are shocked.
What really stood out to me in this video is the raw frustration from the survivor. You can hear it. This isn't someone chasing clout. This is someone who knows the truth is still being buried, and every delay feels like another slap in the face. And let's talk about the word she used, sloppy. Sloppy means careless. Sloppy means unprofessional. Sloppy means they're either wildly incompetent or they don't care. And honestly, I don't believe for 1 second that the federal government, with all its resources, lawyers, and power, is just accidentally fumbling something this big. This case touches intelligence agencies, foreign governments, billionaires, Hollywood, academia, and politics. You expect me to believe they just can't get it right? No. What we're watching is intentional confusion. And here's where the mainstream media completely fails us. They'll run the headline, they'll play a clip, they'll act shocked for 5 minutes, and then they move on. No sustained pressure. No hard questions. No nightly countdown demanding full disclosure. Why? Because too many people at the top don't want those names released. Too many careers would end. Too many institutions would be exposed. And the media, especially corporate media, has proven over and over again that they protect power, not people. This is why patriots don't blindly trust the experts anymore. This is why Americans are skeptical. Not because we're conspiracy theorists, but because we've been lied to repeatedly. And here's the bigger issue. If the Epstein case can be slow-walked, sanitized, and quietly buried, what does that say about every other promise of accountability we're given? They tell us, no one is above the law. Justice will be served. Just wait. Well, we've waited, and all we've gotten is incompetence when it's convenient and efficiency when it's not. This survivor isn't asking for revenge. She's asking for truth. She's asking for transparency. She's asking for a system that doesn't protect monsters just because they wore suits and flew on private jets. And as a patriot, I'll say this loud and clear. A country that refuses to expose evil at the highest levels is a country in moral decline. We don't need more press releases. We don't need more redacted PDFs. We don't need more excuses. We need full disclosure. Every name, every connection, every failure exposed. Because sunlight isn't dangerous to a republic, it's necessary. If we want to restore faith in this country, it starts with proving that power doesn't buy immunity, that wealth doesn't erase guilt, and that survivors matter more than reputations. So yeah, when she says it's incompetent and sloppy, she's being generous. This looks like a system that's afraid of its own reflection. And until that changes, patriots are going to keep asking questions. Loudly, relentlessly. Because America doesn't belong to elites, it belongs to the people. And the people deserve the truth. If you agree that it's time for full transparency, smash that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Because sunlight is the best disinfectant, and patriots aren't going to stop asking questions.